Okay, well, welcome everybody. Excited to dive into some cool topics today. First, we're going to talk about a very difficult word for many people, which is decide. And then we're going to talk about how to fix this. Decision making can be hard sometimes because we're not really clear on what we want. So let me start with this idea. First of all, if you don't know where you're going, then any strategy works, right? And so the problem with that is that we want to get the best strategy or the best tool or the best gimmick, click funnel to grow your business or this, cool, fancy, latest AI, whatever. All of those tools, though, are subservient to vision. Where am I going? And why do I have to go there? And once you decide, let's say you're in Atlanta and you want to get to Washington, D.C., and you need to be there today, you've eliminated the bicycle. You've probably eliminated the car. You've eliminated the skateboard. You've eliminated lots of options. So really the key to decision making is clarity about your vision. Clarity about vision is what makes the difference in decision making. So if you have a tough decision to make, you need to go back to your vision. Well, what's the problem? I mean, doesn't everybody have a vision? Well, sometimes what people actually have is more of a desire, like to succeed, to make money, to be successful. And if that desire is what's leading you instead of a real strategic vision, you're going to make bad decisions because you're chasing opportunity all the time. And in that chasing, you're going to get worn out. You're going to likely get distracted. How many of you have gone down those dead ends? Like it would seem like a good idea at the time, but then later, not so great. So what we want to come back to is solid quality decision-making, and it starts with vision. So if you don't have a especially clear vision, or if you have not revisited your especially clear vision, maybe some of you are Founders Fire clients and you've been through the training program and you have a strategic vision, you have a 6, 7, 8-page document that explains from start to finish exactly who we serve best, how we serve them best, and why that is a worthwhile effort in story form, not bullet points, not up on the wall, not the core value mission statement, industrial age approach to that. Okay, that's okay. It's not terrible, but it's not very actionable. But when you take your vision and you turn it into a story, a customer journey story, where at each part of the story, you are really specific about how this is providing value, how you're doing what's right for your customer, how you're helping them and guiding them, then all of a sudden, people get engaged because they can see themselves in that story. Now, maybe you've done that. Maybe you haven't. If you have, you need to read it every day. Wow, it's like 8 pages long. Am I going to read that every single day? Okay, not all of it, but you need to read some of it. This is the tool for hiring. This is the tool for marketing. This is the tool for sales. Having this strategic vision is the tool literally for everything. We've all heard the old verse that says, where there's no vision, people cast off restraint. Meaning where there's no clear vision, there's no clear decision making. And therefore, there's no real discipline, right? We've also heard it said, well, where there's no vision, people perish. So we're thinking on the operational side, but what about on the internal side, on the psychological side? If you know without a doubt that you have no idea where you're going and you are perpetually lost, how motivating is that? You feel good about yourself? Is that like, hey, that's a fantastic thing and, that's just really great? The reality of it is that's not really great. That's not what we want, and that doesn't produce life. So what we want to do is anchor ourselves in a vision. And that vision needs to be clear, compelling, and something achievable, I would say, in the next 2 to 3 years. Now, if you have that in place, we can talk about today's topic, which is decision making. Because how in the world could you really make good decisions if you have no idea where you are and no idea where you're going? You can't. You can't. The best you could do is to try techniques that other people say work, but we know what that's like. Most of those people are really, really good at selling you ideas. And that is a lot of the business industry. Unfortunately, fortunately though, you're on this live stream simulcast thing where we're training right now. And part of what we're doing is we're reshaping our mind to be attuned to vision. I want you to do an experiment later today. When you walk into a business or you encounter another business, maybe online or in person, I want you to ask yourself, is it clear what the vision is here? And if it is, I bet you like that business. I bet you appreciate that business. If it is not clear, that would be instantly evident. Because see, this is the first system of all systems. The first and most important system is vision. All right, now if I've got my vision, let's talk about how we make decisions based on that. I can now easily say, does this person that I might hire, or this opportunity, or this situation, or this new initiative, does that measurably, tangibly make part of this vision come true or improve? And if that answer is a I don't know, well, that's your decision. If that answer is a no, well, that's your decision. If that answer is yes, that's your decision. And this gets the owner or the founder out of the hot seat of being the center of the organization. You see, when we're vision driven, we're always asking the question, what makes this vision come true? Okay, when we're owner driven, it's basically, what does the owner like? And what is it like to be in a business that is owner centered or owner driven? Well, in some cases it can be good, but in many cases it can become an autocracy. In many cases it can become a dictatorship. It can become, really, I'm not doing my job. I'm really trying to make this person happy. And them being happy now is the focus of the organization. If you have not been in an organization like that or had a job where that was true, count yourself as lucky, because most of us have. And it's miserable because you know it could be so much better, but there's this structural problem called the boss, and everything's got to go through that person. See, a mature business, though, has grown out of that. You probably do have to start that way, let's say in the first 12 to 18 months. But very soon we need to transition to a vision-driven business, because the vision drives all the decisions. So if you're the marketing person and you're saying, hey, we need to get, more customers, we need more, customer acquisition, et cetera. Well, what's going to guide your decisions about how to do that and what messaging to use and who to go after? You guessed it, the strategic vision. Because the strategic vision talks about who we serve best, how we serve them best, why that matters so much. And if you start with that, a lot of your marketing decisions are already made. Same in sales, same in hiring, same in operations. But let's get back for a second to this psychological root of decision making and why it's so hard. And again, maybe this will give you some insight, or people that you work with or work for, in understanding the mechanics of a decision. First of all, the word decide has that same root that suicide has, homicide has, pesticide, and all those, something's dying. We know this, right? So in decide, what is dying? What is dying are the alternatives. I like the old Russian phrase, to chase two rabbits is to catch none. You see, because I can't really decide, meaning I can't really focus, I'm sowing the seeds for my own failure. Focus is an absolute prerequisite to success. If I don't focus, I won't succeed. Focus is a kind of decision, isn't it? Because I'm deciding where to put my attention. And if I add to that my intention, okay, now we got will, focus, and vision bearing down on something. I'm telling you what, you're going to break through that. That's a lot of energy. That's what we call in the military a force multiplier. Okay, so whatever problem you're facing or whatever challenge you think you have, if you bring that level of focus, that level of intention and attention, That level of vision-driven decision-making, come on, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so we resist it though, because back to that root, we don't like this idea of saying no to other things. Okay, the world and technology, I think in the last probably 20 years for sure, has really taught us to keep saying maybe, 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 maybe. Have you ever had your computer get hung? You know, the blue screen of death, or the thing where it's just trapped, it's just frozen. That's probably more common back in the old days, but it used to happen quite a bit. And people would spend, hours trying to get their computers to work right. Why? Because the operating system was designed in such a way that it kept saying maybe. If you want to do this and this, yeah, maybe we can do that. And it kind of was switching in between. And pretty soon you gave it enough maybes that it locked itself down. Exactly true for humans. Okay, if you're having trouble making decisions, it could be that you are suffering from a condition called decision fatigue, which means you have too many decisions. The volume of decisions is too high. Well, how do you limit that? Well, the first thing you have to do is set some boundaries. It just means that you've got to send people, let's say your colleagues to begin with, a little message that says, hey, from this time to this time, don't knock on the door, don't text me, don't send me something. I'm not going to see it. Well, why not? I thought we were in this instant on, 24/7, everything all the time culture. You have to be available. Says who? Oh, says the customer. Really? People treat you the way you teach them to treat you, including your customers. And if you say to a customer, we're not available 24/7 because, frankly, our staff needs to go home and rest and be good human beings so that when they come back tomorrow, they can give you their very best. You see, if you start to explain that in order to provide the highest quality service at the lowest possible price, there has to be borders and boundaries, people intuitively know those people are smart. That makes sense. Aren't you a little suspect at this salesperson who keeps saying yes to everything? Can your car do this? Oh yeah. Can your car do that? Oh yeah. Can your car go underwater? Oh sure. Really? I mean, you're saying yes to everything. There's nothing your product or service can't do or won't do. See, when we do that, not only is it dishonest, it is also breaking down the barriers and the structure that creates a healthy relationship. This is just one example of how we get behind and overwhelmed and ultimately start making bad decisions. I don't know if it was George Patton, the famous general from World War II, or someone in that category. I think it was, but he said, fatigue makes cowards of us all. So you can be really awesome and strong, but when you're worn out, you're kind of useless. When we don't structure our day based on the fulfillment of our vision, then we start making too many decisions, and then our decision quality goes down. And then we start saying maybe to everything, and then we get behind, and now it snowballs. Very easy to break out of that habit pattern. Simply go back to your vision. First thing, before you get into the office or wherever you work, revisit that vision. You need to read all of it? No, read a paragraph or two. It just anchors you psychologically to where we are going. Now we start work, and everything is held up against, does it make that vision come true? What part of the vision does it make come true? Here's a great tool for those of you who are managers. Ask another employee, how's what you're doing right now measurably contributing to our vision? What a great question. Here's another question that lots of managers ask that hopefully you'll stop asking. How's it going? What are you up to? How's your day? That's okay, but in reality, it's not really high technique. That's kind of low level technique. Really high level technique is that everything we do all the time is always about one thing. It's the vision. Clarifying the vision makes your decisions easy. It also means that it's not about pleasing you. It's about making the vision come true. And now your team is going to flourish because they know you're not just making decisions that are convenient for you. You're beholden to the vision. You're following something else. You're under someone else's authority. And that is so critical. when everyone is serving the vision and all decisions go back to the vision, now we can really move forward. So to recap, decide has that root word in it of side. And we get nervous about making really powerful final decisions. But we know without focus, without intention and attention, without commitment, we're not going to break through and see the success that we need to see. How do we do that? We draw that compelling vision out of the founder's heart and we put it into that story form so that we, our team, everybody understands where we're going. And now suddenly the decisions get a lot easier. I hope you implement it this week. If you want to find out more about this and how to do it in your business, foundersfire.com is our website. And that ends Bulletproof Business for today. I'll hand it back over to Adam.
Eric, I have a follow-up question for you. And this is something that I learned from you. And it's a two-part thing. I want to thank you for it. And then I want to know how you came up with it. When you send somebody an email, back to your point, we train people how to treat us. You at the footer of your email says, for focus and effectiveness, I look at email once around noon. I added that to all of my emails because I caught myself chasing communication all day long, and I was so limited in what I could accomplish. Where did you come up with that, and how long have you been doing that, I guess?
Oh, wow. So I think I've been doing it for a while. And I don't know for sure the origin, but I think I adapted it from something I read in Tim Ferriss's book, 4-Hour Workweek, which I guess probably is 15 or 20 years old by now. But was all the rage when it first came out. It's the book with the palm trees on the front. And it says 4-Hour Workweek. And it was just about that idea of setting boundaries. I would combine it with another book I recommend for everybody called Deep Work. This is by Cal Newport. And both of those ideas work together, which means if I'm constantly being distracted, my IQ goes down by 10 points. And this is a CNN study years ago was talking about the distraction of emails and you've got mail, ding, and all that, right? And it was like, hey, it actually is like going to work high. That's the actual cognitive effect of those distractions all the time. I read Deep Work. He reinforced that with a whole bunch of cool science and other things like that, and was saying we do better when we can stay in a theme for a little bit. You know, he calls them deep work blocks. I didn't know any of this, but 24 years before that, I had actually come up with a concept of anchor activities, which is that exact kind of block schedule, focus. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 90 minutes. And again, I know for some folks that seems impossible. Do a deep work block that's 15 minutes and watch it grow. And tell people, hey, for the next 15 minutes, unless it's blood or smoke, I can't hear from you. I love you. And if it's blood or smoke, barge in. Yes. But if it's not, let me do my best deep work and it'll grow from there. Yeah.
Wow. Because if we don't control our schedules, they would definitely control us.
Exactly. Exactly.
I appreciate that very much, sir.
Oh, man, you're welcome. Absolutely.
Well, thank you all for watching every Tuesday on YouTube and now on Facebook as well. So make sure you're following us on Facebook, Instagram. Eric is big on TikTok now. He's got a big TikTok following.
It's not because I'm dancing, I promise.
Make sure you're following us on TikTok. And if you're new to the Founders Fire community, I'm going to play a little video to show you what we're all about. Thank you all for joining us.
What is the one thing all small business owners want to know? Why is it that what I'm doing isn't working? You see, when you build systems the right way, they work with each other. That's what Founders Fire is all about. We have helped thousands of business owners just like you from the situation you're in to get you real results in real time with the system that we've built that's going to change how your business runs. We're going to help you figure out exactly where you are on that roadmap, and we're going to give you a systematic approach over the next 12 months to fully organize, systemize, and align your business with your vision. This is about you, this is about your calling, and this is about right now. More free time, more impact, changing people's lives. That's what Founders Fire is about, to help you find the freedom and to make the difference that you have it in yourself to make.
Thank you again for watching. Make sure you join us next week, Tuesday, and also share this with your friends and colleagues. We really want more people to be exposed to this teaching and to provide more value to those around you as well. So God bless you. Have a wonderful, productive week. We'll see you next time right here on Bulletproof